back of the D25. We've talked about the front. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the back of the D25. This is basically the power supply connection. And in the power supply, you've got a 24-volt ISO out or a 48-volt ISO out. That's based on the power supply that you order for the D25, which is based on your ordering code. For ordering code, I'm not going to bother you with it. You can always access our store online at ge.multilin.ge.com and get it from there. Next is where we connect the power that feeds into the D25. And as you've seen, we've got ground, neutral, and live connections to the power supply. That's the main power in coming in. And again, you've got all the options on the power that's available on our ordering guide. Now, this is the power switch. That's how you turn on and off the D25. There is a fuse in order to prevent any damage to the power supply in case the input power is not proper. Okay, and next come the radio keys. If you want to key a radio auxiliary output from the D25 or send modem signals from the D25. Then you have a maintenance port, an UTC IRIG-B port as noted in here. So we've got D25 main, we've got UTC IRIG-B, we've got, this is the first COM port or COM3, and this is the second COM port or COM4, right? So you've got, or sometimes they know them as IED1, IED2 ports, right? If you buy an expansion card inside the D25, you have many options. So this one is equipped with the Ethernet copper option. So you've got two Ethernet copper ports, right? You can also have fiber expansion. You can also have another two serial ports, similar to these serial ports, if you have a demand for more serial ports in your bay or in your application of the D25. So it depends on your application in the site for the D25 as to which expansion option. This also can be blank if you don't want an optional card, and it's optional to be added in the future. So you don't have to purchase it at the time or get it at the time you get the D25. Okay. Next, I'm going to start to talk about the input, I/O input into the D25. Before we go too far, this is a ground connection, right? And this is basically where you would connect the grounding for all of these peripherals or I/O cards. So it's important that we connect our green or our ground to this connection over here. The digital input ports are the first three I/O cards. So this is I/O card in slot A and slot B. Okay, this is the first I/O card. Okay, and what you will see is that the first terminal blocks, the two terminal blocks, right, are responsible for the voltage. All right. And then the second two terminal block connections, right, are for the first point, or 1A, 1B. And then we've got 1C, 1D. Somebody will ask me, well, how do we know that? How do we know that the first two would be plus minus volts and then 1A, 1B? The guide at the top of the D25, right, will show you that. So in A, or in the position A, the first two terminal blocks are plus minus voltage, right? The second terminal blocks are 1A, 1B. That's your first digital input. 2A, 2B, that's your second digital input, right? So that's why this chart has been placed on top of the D25 in order to assist us in guiding us on the terminal blocks. It has a quick cheat sheet in the site to assist us with the connections or with the wiring for your wire chiefs in the site. Okay, So basically, coming back to this, right, we've got 32 digital inputs in every card, or 16 in every bank. So for basically for bank A, all right, I've got 16 digital inputs and 16 digital inputs on bank B. I've got 16 digital inputs on bank C. I've got 16 digital inputs on bank D. I've got 16 digital inputs on bank E and 16 digital inputs on bank F. So across one physical card, we will get 32 digital inputs, okay, which is 2 banks. Or across the 3 cards, we will get a total of 96 digital inputs. That's basically 32 plus 32 plus 32 digital inputs. You don't have to purchase all the cards at the same time. You can get one card and then expand it as the requirement increase in your substation. Okay, so these cards can be added to the D25 as the future require you to do it. Then we've got the K card, or the digital output card. Now the digital output card, which has 32 digital outputs, right? The way it works, or 16 depending on your configuration, right? The way it works is this slot in here can be high or low voltage, depending on the requirement. Again, the ordering guide can be used inside your, seen inside our store for ordering guide. Okay, this is the analog input card, or the analog input slot. And again, for analog input, you can have up to 16 analog inputs. Now, at the bottom of the D25, so this is all DC connections. This is our AC connections, right? So we can connect our current transformers and voltage transformers directly in here. And for the CT and VT readings, which we're going to show you during the configuration, the type of CTs and VTs options that are available, right? You can have any combinations of up to 3 VTs and 3 CTs combination in a 5 slot.